What's happening, Elevation Nation? It is July 31st, rolling through the hot summer that it is in 2025. What's up, Sam? I know you were just on a bike coming back from the doctor's. Was it really hot there too? Like, how would that go?
It was hot. I sweat, but it was nice. Nice way to start the day. Little bike ride through the monuments. Nothing better, man. Got a little tan. Got some fresh air. It was good to go. But now we're in the grind, in the thick of it. And how's your day going, Parker? Everything good? I'm excited for our Fortitude and 15 topic today. It's something we have been preaching. And literally, as soon as you said we were going to talk about this, I got a TikTok on it. I just sent it to you. You probably didn't even look yet. But this topic, it's big right now, man.
It's been big, but it's definitely becoming more apparent and definitely trickling down into our daily lives, which is kind of crazy to see it actually have an impact, and I think it's going to have more of an impact. And Elevation Nation, what we are talking to you today about is AI and entry-level jobs and the death of essentially the traditional path. Wall Street Journal this morning posted an article, and I immediately sent it to Sam. Literally, the title of the article was, AI is wrecking an already fragile job market for college graduates. And it goes in not just talking about college graduates, it talks about just in general, a lot of companies are laying off people. A lot of companies are reshaping their strategies as we speak. A lot of companies are looking at new ways to make the most of their younger talent. And Sam and I have had many conversations about this, and we are doubling down on the importance of people skills, the importance of the EQ skills, because we believe that these are the things that are going to make you differentiated in the future. And so I'm excited to get into it. It's a good topic of conversation. And I haven't used double down in a while, just saying.
That is just so not true. But wouldn't be a Fortitude and 15 podcast if Parker didn't say we were doubling down on something. And we certainly are doubling down.
It's been a while.
On EQ.
It's been a while.
All right, we'll have AI go check when the last episode was that Parker said double down. Couldn't be more than a week or two ago. But I actually don't want to start by standing on a soapbox, Parker, and preaching EQ and emotional intelligence. I want to go and tell a story, right? A story of how I got into the corporate life. I was in high school. My dad served on the school board with the CEO of this sports statistics agency in Chicago. Got me an internship as like a junior or senior in high school. Literally, they just gave me a project to, funny enough, research how AI was going to impact the sports world. That was my first internship that I ever had. This was...
Might have been your first entry
my first
into
real job.
AI. Or just the idea of AI. You probably didn't even think about it as a high schooler.
Yes, but it was so different. Like, I remember when they gave me that, and I started to do just research on Google, trying to see what I found. I remember one of the companies I found was this new software where you could put in a box score from a sports game, and it would use AI to write an article, a news article on that sports game. That was one of the earliest forms of AI, turning that box score into language that someone could read. I remember seeing that and thinking, that's crazy, but that'll never take off. God, was I wrong. That was my first exposure into AI and the corporate world, right? I had a family friend, got me an internship. That was the first thing I could put on my resume that wasn't a job. Shout out to my first job, though, working at Parking Skill Golf, where I actually learned a lot, which I'll get to in a second. Fast forward, that internship then propelled me to my next internship. Then my next internship, another one in data analytics. And then finally, my final internship where I got a return offer from that company. The path was very much laid out to me. And my parents, they knew exactly what the path was because it was a similar path they took. You can get a high school job or work as a camp counselor for a couple years, but as you get towards senior year of high school, you get an internship to put it on your resume, and then you get internships all throughout college. That'll make you look good to get the job.
Wait. You think people just got internships in high school? I think you were definitely in the minority of people who have gotten internships in high school. I think people just got summer jobs. At least where I grew up, people like worked at a pool as a lifeguard at a camp. I don't know anyone who really got a summer internship minus the internship I had to get for 2 weeks as part of graduation requirements at my school.
Yeah, maybe not. So fine. Maybe I was a little early. My point being is there was a fairly clear path stood out. Get some internships and you'll probably get some decent grades and you'll probably get a good job, right? You're graduating from a Big Ten school. I actually don't know if I was a parent right now and my kid was going through this, I don't know what I would tell him because it's not going to be the same path that many of our parents went through. You won't have those internship opportunities to sharpen your skills and get that on your resume. In fact, you might not even get that entry-level job. There's more and more statistics coming out that college graduates are having a harder time getting white-collar jobs. They're even struggling to get blue-collar jobs or retail jobs or restaurant jobs. They're overqualified for those and too expensive, but underqualified for all the other ones. And so we're in this very weird dichotomy between trying to get internships, trying to get entry-level jobs, but no one's hiring. AI is taking so many of them. And so I think it's just a small story of how I got started and how I wish I had an answer, but I don't know if I had a kid right now what I'd be telling them to do. Maybe like go to trade school. Seriously, I don't know.
Go to trade school. I mean, yeah, be a carpenter. So you're just going to put them in a box like, hey, you know what? Skip college. Just go become a carpenter.
If I had, all right, you want to pose this hypothetical? If I had a kid right now that was like 17 years old, I would say go to college, but you're not allowed to take classes. I will pay
They're
for
going
you
to pay
go
for
on
college.
Yeah, because college is about the experiences that you get. Instead, I'd either tell them to be an entrepreneur and I'd give them money to start a business, or I'd say go to a craft or a trade school while you stay at a normal college campus.
So you're living on a college campus, but you're technically not participating in the education piece.
You asked my opinion on what I mean. That's what I would recommend.
Listen,
I think that's the best path.
I agree and disagree. I do think 4 years of higher education classes is helpful to hone your critical thinking, your writing, your oral presentation skills, because you're really not getting that in a new way. On top of that, the social skills aspect. But yeah, when you leave, is it really what it was? And I think there is a resounding theme out there now that no, it's just not the same of getting, me, government politics degree or an English writing degree or a business degree, whatever it might be, because AI can just do a lot of what you would have done if you were in that entry level role. And so what I would do, Sam, playing Mr. Devil's Advocate here, is yes, I would help my kid explore the trade, but I would say you also need to improve those people skills, because that is becoming the hard currency. That is becoming the thing that I think will differentiate you from any other regular person. Companies are still going to be hiring kids from college, but how are they going to differentiate between the ones that have the skills or not? Probably the ones who can communicate really well, who can critically think, who can adapt, who can think on the fly and present. Like, I think
but Parker,
that those
don't you
skills,
think that's what's been preached for years? That's the same as when we got jobs.
I think it's going to be valued. I think it's going to be valued that much more.
So how do you said I'd tell my kid to work on those. What do you want your kid to do? They're
To
at a
your
Big Four
point-
university. What do you want them to do differently than we did?
I mean, in this case, I think it is one, starting to find mentors, finding people who can help educate you and help you understand, the path. Secondly, I think you have to start building, and to your point, becoming an entrepreneur of some sort. I think for me in college, that was one of the most fruitful educational experiences that I had, is getting involved in entrepreneurship, learning sales, learning operations, learning how to deal with issues. That was freaking huge, right? And those skills I had to learn on the fly, and that simply came from being an entrepreneur on campus. So I agree with you totally, wholeheartedly. And then the last piece is, man, I don't know. It's challenging because I do think at, even our firm is like we started, you get thrown into it. You have people who hopefully help you along the way. You learn from experience, and then you're able to grow in your own people skills because you're kind of thrown into those difficult and challenging positions. So I don't know, but I'm excited to continue to find a way to maybe solve that because it's a glaring need.
It certainly is. I was given a book a few years back by Andrew Yang. And he, if you may remember, Parker ran for president a couple years ago. The book is all about AI and the future of workforce.
He gave you the book?
No, sorry. The book is by Andrew Yang.
Oh,
I had a friend that gave me the book.
Oh,
sorry.
I thought you said that he gave
that was
you the
confusing
book.
wording on my part. No, gave me a book from a friend by Andrew Yang. That's who the book's by. I think I need to reread it now. It's probably 8 years old. Predicting what we're going through right now. One of the biggest ones he talked about was like truck drivers. When automation happens for truck driving, what are truck drivers going to do? And he's like, respectfully, I don't know if we're going to want to upskill truck drivers. Like, they don't want to learn the skills that they need to get a different job. Like, they like being a truck driver. So how do you do that? It's really interesting. I'm going to have to give it a read. Maybe that'll be our next Fortitude and 15 episode, Parker. But I think we're at a really interesting point in the world and society, a little bit of a freak out moment. And I had a really meaningful call today with some guys from the Meat Mafia, a podcast about holistic eating and wellness, faith, really interesting dudes. And we were talking how there are so many similarities between what they talk about and what we talk about. As more and more technology gets ingrained into our day-to-day lives, not just at work, but in how we operate as human beings with AI and chatbots, I think more and more people are going to rely on mental fortitude and authentic intelligence to help them connect and communicate with humans, just like these guys from the Meat Mafia that are using holistic eating, going on retreats, touching grass, and getting in nature to get back to what it means to be a human. And so we have these polarizing technologies that are coming in and shaping our lives. And I think in our DNA, it's shaking us up a bit. We want to go on vacations that maybe are more in nature. We want to go meet people. We want to communicate. We want to converse in person. We want to fail. We want to learn. We want to try new things. We want to maybe not always have the answers given to us. And so I think, if I'm a futurist, that I would bet on the opportunities, the skills, and the places that bring you closer to the human experience. Because that's, I think, what we're going to be craving more now than ever.
We're going to be craving it more than ever. I completely agree. And to the original topic of conversation around AI taking this whole corporate world by storm and really fixing some things up, I will say you got to be a leader in your own way. You got to go out, make it happen for you. You have to find ways to create value. You can't just wait for someone to hold your hand and bring you along. People skills are obviously so important. We're going to continue to find ways to help Elevation Nation improve their people skills, or what we call authentic intelligence, Sam. And then third, you got to seek mentorship, build things, learn fast, be entrepreneurial, even in the traditional roles, finding ways to stick out to make you irreplaceable so that damn AI thing can't replace you. But you know what? It's so fascinating because, Sam, like, we've been doing these podcasts for so many years. Like, I bet there's a conversation that we had 4 years ago when we first, like, heard about AI and we're like, whoa, like, what is this going to be? I can't wait to go back and like compare. Even 2 years ago when ChatGPT first launched, I know we did.
Dude, like 8 months ago, you were starting to use ChatGPT, and I was like, Parker, you're being lazy, dude. Like, what a
No,
loser.
you just said you do everything with AI. And
I did. I remember saying that. Now look at me. What a hypocrite. I'll apologize
AI is your
formally to you
therapist
on the air.
So
I'm sorry, Parker.
Well,
you were a forward thinker.
Fair enough. All right. Well, good conversation. Elevation Nation. Until next week. Peace.
Peace.